Michelle, how are you today?
I'm okay.
I understand that last week you drank more than you intended and missed an important family event. You and your husband go to watch your son play baseball every week during the baseball season, and you go to pizza afterwards with the families and all that. It's kind of it's an event, and you look forward to it. You love your son, proud of him, love your husband. On your way there last week, you ran into a coworker on your way leaving work and needed somebody to talk to about a personal issue, and you agreed to go and just have a drink and sit and chat with him for a minute at the local bar, and ended up closing the bar down. Your husband is threatening to take your son for the rest of the school year, move out, and file for separation. You're really afraid that he means it this time. You love your husband and your son very much, and you're afraid that they might leave. So does that sound about right?
I'm terrified.
You're terrified. Is this the first time your husband has ever expressed concerns about your drinking, or in the past what did he say about it?
No, about 3 months ago, I had volunteered us to chaperone prom, and I probably chaperoned about 20 minutes of it and spent the rest of the time in a lounge enjoying cocktails. And yeah, he was not happy about that.
Okay, let's start at the beginning. When you say chaperoning, what did you take chaperoning to mean?
We went to a meeting with some of the faculty and the rest of the parents that were chaperoning, and they explained that our responsibilities were to walk around the room, mingle with the kids, and we could dance if we wanted to as part of our mingling, and just kind of hang out and just be aware of what was going on around us and be aware of the kids and just make sure that nobody was drinking or using anything else that they shouldn't be using or doing anything else that they shouldn't be doing.
Okay, and where was the prom at? Was it at the school, or?
No, it was at a hotel, big fancy hotel downtown inside of one of their big banquet halls.
Okay, so you and your husband probably arrived separately from your son. When you get to the prom and they show you sort of the setup and everything, what happened then? Did you dance, or did you,
Oh, I was all excited. My husband and I got I got a new dress, he got a tux, and he even got me a corsage, and we go in and we walk around the room, kind of check everything out and see where everything's at, and there's tables lined on one side and all the kids in the middle dancing and everything, and yeah, so then we started dancing, and
so you're excited. You almost giddy.
I was.
Like a schoolgirl, you're there, you're going to dance with your husband in a new dress with a corsage, he's wearing a tux, you're thrilled.
I got prom with the man of my dreams.
You're thrilled, you're so excited, and you're dancing, you dance a dance, and then what happened?
After we did our first dance, I needed to go to the restroom, so I had excused myself and went over to the girls' room that was attached to the banquet hall. But there was a ton of teenage girls in there doing teenage girls do at prom night. So just hanging out with their makeup, chatting, talking, possibly some crying, I'm sure is what happens. And so I excused myself from that, and I went out to the hallway to see if there was a restroom in the main lobby. It's a hotel, it's got it. It did. And then across from the restroom was a lounge with a nice little sign on the outside and advertising their very appealing specials for the evening.
When you say a lounge, was it just shared? Was there a bar in there, a restaurant? What do you mean by a lounge?
It was like a restaurant bar type thing.
Okay.
There was a bar in the back, and it was an open space, and
Alcohol. They served alcohol there.
yes.
Okay. Okay. So when you would go to the bathroom. You come out. You're coming out of the bathroom, and then what happened?
I came out of the bathroom. Like I said, I saw little advertisements for their yummy little cocktails, and they all had fun names. So I thought I'd just try one. I mean, relax a little bit and enjoy myself. It's not like I wasn't supposed to drink. The kids weren't supposed to drink, and there was no kids in there. I checked. And I sat up at the bar and ordered the first special on their list. It was like a tatini or something like that, and it was really, really good. And so I thought I'd just try the next one, and it was a Paradise Beach something or other, so I tried that one, and next thing I knew, I had tried all 8 of their specials, and I was gone. I don't know, I'd been gone probably 2.5, maybe more hours.
So hard to resist. You come out of the bathroom and there's a sign there and the drinks look so good.
They did.
And you're there with your husband and supporting your son and with your family who you love. You come out, you see the sign, you go in and you think you'll just have, I think you said you had eight drinks, or it doesn't really matter how many drinks you had. You had several drinks. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
So you were probably feeling the alcohol. When did you go back to the banquet room where the prom was being held?
I didn't. I never made it back into the banquet room. By the time my husband came out and found me in the lounge, I was drunk. There was no way he was taking me back into that prom for those kids to see me like that.
So you didn't go back to the banquet room. What did your husband say exactly when he found you?
He said that, well, at least he didn't yell. That might be because there's people around. He said that he was really disappointed in me and that he couldn't believe that I would do this to our son, and that it was my idea to volunteer, and that if I just wanted to go out and drink, that I could have made other plans that didn't involve our son. And he just couldn't believe that I was choosing drinking over being at my son's prom.
So you feel guilty. Your husband's thinking that you've chose drinking over him and your son, and you feel very guilty about that. You love your husband and your son, and you don't want to see them leave. What did your son say when did he come and see you in the bar or in the lounge? And what did he say the next time you saw him?
No, I escaped that one. I didn't see, he hadn't came out of the banquet hall. He didn't see me, but apparently some of the people who were standing around that did see me were one of his ballmates' parents, who were also chaperoning, and they had went back into prom and told their son what they had saw. They apparently witnessed the whole back and forth between me and my husband, and then his friend came and told him what had happened. And thankfully, though, he did stay and enjoy the rest of his prom with his girlfriend, but he went and dropped her off, and then he came home, and when he came in, he told me that it was awful. He told me that he was embarrassed to have me as a mother, that he was ashamed of me, and that he would appreciate if I never volunteered for anything that had to do with him again, and that the only thing he asked me to do was to not embarrass him, and that was the biggest thing I did.
So you're devastated. Your son's telling you that he's embarrassed. You feel terrible. This is not the image of mother that you want him to carry with him. You feel terrible. You're devastated. What did your husband say to you when you got home? What did your husband say to you?
He said a lot to me between leaving from the hotel all the way home to being home. He just kept going off about how sad he is for me, and
when you say he just kept going off, what do you mean by he just kept going off?
He just kept repeating pretty much the same thing about how disappointed he was in me, and how when we got married and we had our son, that was just not the kind of person, I was not being the kind of person he expected me to be, and what was going on with me, and what was I thinking, and...
So you feel like you've let your husband down?
Let my whole family down.
Expectations, you feel
My
terrible?
husband, my son.
How you stayed together apparently. How did you resolve the situation that night?
Oh, that was an ordeal. After hours of tears from both sides, I told him how sorry I was and how I only meant to have one drink, and in retrospect, I shouldn't have stopped at all. And that it just happened, and I need to do something about it, and I promised that I would never, ever let drinking interfere with him or my son ever again, that they're more important to me. And
sounds like that was a hard decision for you to make, but you made it. You made the decision.
I did.
You were...
I was proud of it.
The utmost intention
I
of...
was hopeful.
Yes. Yes, it was a hard decision to make. You made it. You had the best of intentions when you agreed to it.
He agreed to stay. I was relieved.
Okay, you suddenly kind of saw yourself as sort of, you weren't sure this was who you wanted to be, so you decided you're going to make a change. Is that fair to say?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
My husband was right. 20 years ago, I would have never pictured missing my son's prom for a couple martinis. Who does that?
Prom. So this was several months ago. Your intention was to go to the prom with your husband. You were going to chaperone the prom. Your son's sort of last to-do before he leaves high school and goes off to college. Your intention was to just go there, chaperone, have a good time, maybe dance a little bit. Upon looking for a bathroom, you came upon a lounge they had a sign out making drinks look very tempting, sounds like. And you thought you'd just try a few of the local specialties there. Several hours later, and you're quite intoxicated, I believe you said, your husband finds you, some of the other parents see you, your son's embarrassed, you feel terrible, you're devastated that you've embarrassed your son. You just really feel guilty about this. Your husband is going to file for separation. You agreed that this would never happen again, and you had the best of intentions that it wouldn't happen again. But last week you drank more than intended and missed your son's baseball game. Clearly you love your family. You are faced with the fact that your drinking is causing you to jeopardize your family and your marriage. Does that sound about right?
Yeah. I'm concerned. I'm very concerned.